Hey. Urban politics bites. Next bite. Let's talk about California and how they have restricted state-funded travel to Ohio, my state. Why is that? Because of a provision on Ohio's 2-year budget that allows medical providers to deny care to LGBTQ patients starting September 30th. Blocking access to life-saving care is wrong. Whether it's denying a prescription for HIV meds or refusing to provide gender-affirming care or undermining a woman's right to choose. This bill puts the health of Americans at risk. Governor Mike DeWine sidestepped when asked why he did not veto the bill. He claimed it's not a problem and has never been a problem in Ohio. HB 110 unnecessarily puts the health of Americans at risk. Let's talk about some sad stats. And all of this stuff, I'm sure Mr. DeWine is well aware of. Check this out. 50% of LGBTQ people experience healthcare discrimination. 1 in 5 trans people has been denied healthcare coverage simply because of their trans status. More than half of trans individuals encounter a significant lack of provider knowledge. 28% of trans and gender nonconforming people have postponed medical care because of discrimination or disrespect. LGBTQ people of color are 2 times as likely to avoid a doctor than a white LGBTQ member. 75% of lesbians report delaying or avoiding health care. When a person has one healthcare experience with discrimination, they are 3 times more likely to postpone healthcare for that year. 16% of LGBTQ patients choose to tell their doctor or choose not to tell their doctor their sexual orientation. In 2015, first-year med students, 80% expressed implicit bias and 50% expressed explicit bias against gay and lesbian patients. And the last fact, more than 175 anti-LGBTQ healthcare laws were proposed in 32 states around the U.S. in 2016. So that right there showed you the trajectory of this thing, where it was going in 2016. So this is sad. I definitely, I can feel California's vibe on that. Like, why are we going to be paying for state, why are we going to be funding travel to a state that has laws like this, and put it on the books? No doubt that they're basically giving the green light to medical professionals to deny health care to people in the LGBTQ plus community. That is redonkulous. That is ridiculous. Healthcare is a right, not a privilege. And I thought, don't all doctors take what they call the Hippocratic Oath? And they also take a oath to do no harm. But I think a doctor has to help someone if they can. So I hope a lot of these doctors, no matter what this bill is saying, this HB 110, I hope they throw that out the window and always remember their Hippocratic Oath. If someone comes to you and they need help them, whether that's HIV meds, whether, like they said, it's gender affirming medication, any of that type of stuff. Because this is what blows me away. You got people who are trans and people who are already dealing with this type of stuff. This is hard stuff to deal with. So then you want to throw that into the mix too? Then you want to throw into the mix that they can't get health care because someone has a problem with how they were born? Redonkulous. That's crazy. So there it is. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it, California. I wouldn't want to pay for travel to Ohio either, because they need to get up off of that. And like I said, Mike DeWine, he knows all of these stats that I just said. I'm sure he knows this even better than me. He's the governor of this great state. He has access to all these numbers and all this information. So the fact that he would sit there and say, oh, well, it's never been a problem in Ohio, and I don't foresee it being a problem in Ohio, that is garbage. I'm calling BS on that. That's Boulder Dash. Yeah, so that is what it is. Urban Politics Bites.